Well, welcome to another edition of Mining Now and the Australia Tour. And for this edition, we're joined by Rhys Werndly and the Bentech group. And Rhys is going to explain some of what the group does. And welcome, Rhys.
Thanks, Roy. Thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this for the last couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to having a good chat about who we are and what we do.
Well, great. And if you could start out just by giving us a bit of your background, how you got into the industry and what you've been up to.
Yep. Well, I started working for Bentech in 2017. Once I finished uni, did an undergrad in marketing and management. Then I started here and kind of built the marketing team to what it is now. And we've grown a lot in that time. We're nearly at 100 people now, and we're probably at 25 or so, 30 when I started. But yeah, this was a great opportunity that came across once I'd graduated, and I've loved every second of working here and being part of a quite interesting evolution over the last few years.
Oh, it sounds like you're in a dynamic time, but so tell us about Bentech. I'm not familiar with the group, and it sounds like you're involved in a lot of different things.
Yeah, well, I guess the Bentech group started 1985 with our directors, Jim and Paul's dad, and then from there it started as a bending and rolling sort of company, that hence the Bentech. But then once time went on and Jim and Paul took over, we diversified into mining, and which is predominantly what we do now. And I guess with that came the evolution of the custom, consultation, design, engineering, sort of construction process that then feeds a lot of the other stuff that we do. And we've got the ROX brand. Obviously, you can see behind me the ROX brand. It represents the mining parts division. So we do a lot of OEM replacement parts for above and underground equipment, hence the ROX brand. And we're working on another evolution for our safety and efficiency range of products as well.
So and I'm going to get to safety because I'm a safety guy,
Yep.
but we'll. I want to ask a few more questions first because obviously the group started small, but you're expanding. And what's your geographical footprint now? I mean, we talked before the show that you're in Perth at the moment, but where is Bentech working?
So we service the whole of Australia, but we sort of have spread through the ROX brand predominantly into parts of Africa, Mongolia, South America, North America, Canada, and sort of the Asia Pacific as well. Predominantly, we sort of service, a lot of our work is in Western Australia, given how extensive the mining industry is here. But we are trying to diversify more outside of Australia with the ROX brand and the OEM replacement mining parts. But yeah, a lot of what we've done is Australia wide, but growing and aspirations to do some really cool things over the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, you mentioned some of the leading mining centers in the world there, so you're expanding quite rapidly, and it sounds like there's lots of opportunity in Australia, but lots of opportunity internationally as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we've kind of learned. And I think myself and my team, being in marketing and sort of trying to push and persuade audiences in those regions has been really fun and a good challenge as well. But yeah, we can see, just off the back of inquiry alone and some of the work we've secured, that there's huge opportunities for us around the world. But that's not to forget our lovely homeland here in Australia. We've got some long-standing great relationships with our clients here, and we love servicing them as much as anybody else as well.
Let's talk about our heavy industry tour brought to you by Savannah Equipment, supplying mining equipment worldwide. We are heading to events across North America, Africa, and Australia and filming episodes on location. Email us at info@crownsman.com to be part of Crownsman's Heavy Industry World Tour. Solving the complexities of operational efficiency, safety and compliance, and asset management in mining can be a significant headache. Madison Technologies understands these challenges, and with over 3 decades of industrial communications experience, they're not just a supplier, but a transformative partner in digitization. Madison Technologies accelerates the digital journey of their clients, and together with global technology vendors, they deliver practical, real-world solutions. Visit madison.tech to discover how they can help you unlock future potential with Mining 4.0 solutions. Introducing REMScan by Ziltech, the game changer for rapid hydrocarbon soil measurement. Get accurate petroleum hydrocarbon readings in under 30 seconds. No consumables, no wait time. Just scan your sample for on-the-spot result. Perfect for emergency spill response, spill delineation, excavation chasing, and bioremediation monitoring. REMScan is trusted by top industries and backed by independent verifications. Make real-time decisions without the lab wait or expense. Discover more at ziltech.com or email them at info@ziltech.com. REMScan by Ziltech, the future of rapid soil assessment. Orica Digital Solutions seamlessly connects customers' physical and digital worlds so they can readily understand and optimize operations at every step of the value chain, from exploration to processing. Whether deployed individually or as a whole, Orica Digital Solutions technologies deliver intelligence for open cut and underground mines to make more precise and faster decisions. With a complete, timely, and accurate picture, operations can adapt to improve safety, drive productivity, reduce costs, and environmental impacts. To learn more about Orica Digital Solutions, visit orica.com/digital solutions today.
Now, you mentioned earlier about the evolution of the company, and from, I would say, from a fabrication to a design and manufacturing process. And it sounds like you're almost a design, manufacture, build type group now. You've evolved quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got an in-house design, engineering, and manufacturing all happens here in our Welshpool facility, which is in Perth, Western Australia, as we have mentioned. A typical job, and it might look like one of our consulting teams. We've got quite a large consulting team, about 10 to 12 members. They will mobilise on site, visit site, and they'll sort of understand a problem that our customers have in, predominantly with that part of the group. The custom design group, it'd be something to do with safety or efficiency, whether it's fixed or mobile or, whatever the situation is really. So they'll go to site, understand. It might be a access situation. So we'll scope up and scan the area. We've got really extensive 3D scanning and really high-tech 3D scanning capabilities that gives us really accurate representations of sort of what the problem requires in terms of a solution. And then we'll bring that back here, and then the design team will work on a concept. Once the client approves all of that, we'll move through to engineering, and we do all the engineering in-house as well. And then we manufacture it here as well. So we're kind of like an end-to-end solution from, the realization that there's a problem, safety or efficiency related, and then we can deliver that to site at the end of the process. So that's been a huge part of that's kind of our DNA as the Bentech group. But again, we've evolved into some other areas as well.
Well, you mentioned so just to give me a little more feel for it. Are you operating with open pit groups or
Yep.
Underground, and when you talk about access platforms, a number of things come to mind. Can you give us an example of a project of yours?
Yep. So we service open cut, fixed plant, and underground. So an access solution there might be a requirement to perform, as there would be on many machines. I'll give you a mobile equipment sort of example. Personnel on site might need to access the engine bay to perform maintenance or anything like that, and they'll need to do that safely. Obviously, something like a 793 haul truck or a D11 dozer is quite high off the ground. So we've developed solutions to access that area safely, and everything we do is sort of certified and compliant with the Australian standards and beyond if necessary. But that's sort of an example of like an access solution. So we'll build oftentimes an aluminium access platform or access stairway with a working platform as well, and then the teams can access that area safely, get up and down from the machine safely, and perform their duties in a safe and efficient manner.
I can fully grasp it now. As a student, I drove a pit truck one summer, and even checking the oil was a big job. Unless if the truck was in the shop, then that was one thing. But I can picture now how much this benefits the operators. And from a safety perspective, you already mentioned your compliance to regulation. I imagine you're working with the operators to try and determine the most efficient access.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's part of where our sort of on-site presence helps. So a situation like I just mentioned, we would get to site and would speak to the people who are performing the maintenance, speak to the teams that lead those people performing the maintenance, and understand what the risks are associated with that type of maintenance. So getting a deep understanding of all the circumstances someone could be under while doing a job then feeds into the design process and feeds into the engineering and the certification, and again then feeds into the manufacturing. So they get delivered something that exceeds their requirements in terms of safety and efficiency.
Okay, so let's give a special thank you to one of our longest sponsors of the show, Savona Equipment. And I'm actually going to hand it over to Jared so that he can give you a little bit more info on Savona Equipment.
Thank you. So I mean, people see them as sponsors, so they'll ask me, kind of who they are, what they are, and just trying to understand the scope of the company. So Savona Equipment is a mining supply company, and they're delivering on the whole equipment supply chain. So everything from the ore processing to underground mining, open pit. They're in hard rock and placer operations. And what they're doing is they're sourcing equipment from all over the world and then delivering it all over the world. Now, they are a Canadian company, so they're based there, but, let's say, they're selling entire ore processing plants. So there might be a plant down in Latin America, and there's a new mine that needs that plant in Africa or somewhere in the US. So they're facilitating that entire transactions. But they're also delivering, an individual conveyor or a concentrator or a pump package or just an electrical package. So it really is the whole gambit of the mining equipment supply chain.
Oh, that's great then. Well, then you definitely have to check them out if you're looking for mining equipment. Visit them at savonaequipment.com, where you will find more equipment every day. Studs and helmets use cutting-edge head protection components used previously only in extreme sports helmets, now utilized in both of Studson's Type 2 models. The SHK1 and SHK1 full brim models are the most innovative helmets on any job site. Offering a revolutionary combination of Koroyd and twice-me technologies, this Studson full brim helmet is the first of its kind in the Type 2 category, providing you with the protection and comfort you need to get the job done. Saving lives one helmet at a time. Studson, where safety meets innovation. You can visit them at studson.com to learn more. If you're treating refractory gold or complex ores, then you need How to Leach Difficulty or Varying Feeds and Recover More. It's packed with cases and papers on Albion process leaching technology. But it also has the world's first online calculator. It's free, and you'll learn what CapEx and OpEx you'll need for Albion process to treat your feed. You need Albion process to liberate your refractory locked gold. To get your pack and use the free calculator, click the link in the description below.
Now, I'm interested in, you mentioned again how your company from its start and now you're into mining parts through ROX. And how did that happen? It's was it a client asking for something special, or did you see a gap in the market?
Bit of both, really. The sort of custom process that I kind of just walked through, that feeds a lot of the other stuff that we do. But back probably 10 or 15 years ago now, we started doing handrails for underground, like boggers and trucks and things like that. And then that sort of range of products evolved from there, where we realized that there's a lot of damage that happens to mobile equipment, and therefore a lot of parts that need to be replaced. And often the lead times from the OEMs are really long. Our clients need parts quickly, otherwise they're then suffering from, they're suffering with downtime on site, which can cost huge money. So that sort of range of products for underground and open cut equipment evolved fairly quickly over the last 10 years, and especially over the last sort of 5 since I've been around. Our brochure for underground equipment used to be 20 pages, now it's 150. So you can sort of see how many products we offer. And the demand is there because of our ability to shorten lead times and get machines doing what they do best, which is mining. And then over the last year or so, we realised that it kind of had its own identity, and hence the ROX brand was born, and the ROX podcast was born too, which we released a few weeks ago. So that's been a really fun journey and a really fun marketing project to kind of give that its identity and sort of get that out into the market.
Well, and again, from a safety perspective, because I know from experience, if some of those parts aren't on the equipment, but people have to meet production, sometimes that equipment is operating, and if you can provide those, especially railings and things like that, if you can provide them quickly, then that's just making the work safer.
Absolutely, and that's our aim, is to make sure that personnel and teams on site can meet their targets from a production point of view, but do that safely. These machines are, often the decks of these machines are meters off the ground, and accidents happen. But if they have a full set of handrails, for example, on an underground loader or the like, that's going to stop that from happening and enable them to do their jobs safely, which is at the core of what we do, safety. That's the number one priority.
So let's talk about the podcast, because I find this interesting. I don't know much about podcasting, to be quite honest, which I shouldn't admit to as the host of this of our show. But so how did this get started? And with your marketing background, I'm sure this is an interesting aspect of the business for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of probably 18 months ago, I started a behind the scenes series for Bentech called Behind the Bee. And that's mainly filmed and kind of follows me and the rest of the team around sort of the inner workings of Bentech. But then when we launched the ROX brand, I was sort of thinking about, from my perspective, from a marketing point of view, I like to stay ahead of the game and do things that our competitors are not, and do things that are fun and engaging for our clients. So then the podcast was born, and the ROX brand, and I thought, breaking rocks just sounds like we're having a conversation. So that was kind of born, and luckily I'm kind of enabled and empowered by my leaders and stuff here to do what I think is going to be good for the brand. So I kind of said, hey, I want to start a podcast. I've kind of always wanted to do one. I love podcasts, and a lot of my favorite brands and sort of, content creators have podcasts, and I listen to them a lot. So it is fun. It's really good fun. I mean, I'm having fun right now talking to you, but getting on here with my team and some of the outside, people in the industry is going to be really good. We filmed 3 episodes so far, and the second one should come out this week. It's just in edit at the moment, but hopefully we can grow it to something like you guys have got. That'd be awesome.
And what's the name again
of the podcast?
Yeah.
Breaking Rocks.
Breaking Rocks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. Yeah. No, it sounds interesting, and it's it'll be. Is it uploaded on YouTube or?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we've got a YouTube channel. Breaking Rocks Podcast is a YouTube channel, and we've got it on Spotify, Apple, and a couple of the other sort of platforms as well. Those are the main ones. But yeah, we film it all. So we get it. There's a video version and just an audio version. And yeah, we've got some awesome gear, as you can see here. Probably some of it behind me. Luckily, I was unable to secure the budget to be able to set it up and have crispy production from the get go.
Yeah, well, that's great. My own experience with this is when I get to talk to different groups, I'm always learning. You never stop learning, and that's the thing I enjoy most about these, is meeting people and learning more about what their background is and what they're doing. So I want to talk about safety again, because I've seen a big shift in culture over the years in safety, and I'm sure you've seen the same thing in the work you do.
Absolutely. Safety has definitely become that top priority now. given the type of work that's conducted in mining and other industries beyond mining, unsafe conditions can be catastrophic, and lives are lost and things like that. We want everyone to get home. We want everyone to do their job and do it well, but we want them to get home to their families, and for us to be able to kind of supply services and products that make that easier is great. And I think a lot of our customers and some of the people we work with have KPIs around safety, and we're the same here as well. Like the way we work and we operate is as safe as it can be. We don't want any injuries or anything beyond that. So yeah, like I said, it's fantastic to be able to supply products that make people's lives and make people's jobs safer.
Yeah, so there's two parts to that, because you're helping your clients become safer, but you also have to protect your own people. So you're
Absolutely.
building a culture internally and then working with your clients externally.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. We kind of got to practice what you kind of preach in terms of safety. Everyone here has a great safety mindset. And then we kind of, again, we carry that forward to our clients. We have a lot of clients come and visit our facility here. We've got a fantastic 10,000 square meter facility. And we want to make sure that we're setting a good example. And we're providing what our customers need when they want to execute on maintenance as safely as possible.
Now, the Perth area, of course, has a large labor pool when it comes to mining services, but I know as well that Australia, the labor market has been tough, and in our service industries, it always seems the same. There's either not enough work or not enough people. So what's your experience in attracting people and keeping people?
Well, I think the way that sort of the leaders at Bentech here, myself included, have kind of set up the company in terms of how we look after people once they work there has kind of protected us a lot in that regard. We have a really great culture here. We pay really well here. Everyone gets free lunches here. And this is a safe place to work, both in every way, both actually the work, but it's a safe place to work for people. We've got a great team and everyone gets along really well. And the work we do is so varied. So, it creates a rich experience for people that work here. I can speak for that for myself. I get to do podcasts and videos and do things like we're doing right now, and also all the other kind of nitty gritty stuff that comes with marketing. But from a labour point of view, we're very lucky to have some amazingly talented fabrication teams, both in steel and aluminium, and then back from that in the engineering and design team. So I guess it speaks to the quality of the workplace for us to be able to attract and retain that kind of talent.
I like that term, rich experience. It's always to keep the best people, you have to keep them challenged and keep them engaged. And it sounds like you've got variety in services and variety in clients. What's been your experience in the international work? What's the biggest challenge you see going offshore?
I guess probably the logistical side of it. But we're working on that. We're working on some ideas in the pipeline around having some different distribution centers and things like that. We want to expand, especially with the ROX brand. A lot of that can be shipped easily and in quantities. But I think that's something we're just going to have to take as it comes. We'll see. We'll see what kind of relationships we can kind of build, distributorship models. Like I said, warehousing ourselves. But I think the product and the demand is there, and the quality of the product is there in terms of innovation. And our whole motto with ROX is it's built better. We kind of embody that with everything that we do.
And you mentioned relationships there, and my own experience has been, you can talk about different geographical areas, but what really makes the difference is the relationship with the client, because they can help you enormously if you build a good relationship with them.
Absolutely, and that's a big key part of our success is the relationships that we've built. We don't just want to make a sale or sell something. We want to build a customer. We want to build a relationship. And we're known for our delivery of our product and the quality of our product and the quality of the service. But that's been through years and years of hard work and diligence and backing up that promise time after time.
Yeah, so there's been quite an evolution over the last few years, but looking ahead, what do you see? I mean, we talked about geographical expansion. What's next for Bentech and for ROX?
Well, for ROX, I think it is that international expansion. It is about having the parts that are demanded by our clients. Our movement into fuel tanks and things like that are part of the parts that we offer has been so fun, and so it's been a great challenge for the team. But it's also been really good to understand the demand there for our clients. From a Bentech point of view, there's evolution into some more different branding, giving certain sections of the business their own identity, and then really sort of honing in on that CDEC service, which is the consultation, design, engineering, construction service, and sort of taking that into some other industries, I think, is what we're working on next. Diversifying, and sort of continuing to be at the forefront of what we do.
Okay, so looking at your product and how it could be adapted or how it could be utilized in construction or in oil and gas, or I'm just I'm just throwing some things out there, but
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think you have a look at defense is something we're working on moving into and have been for the last couple of years, and the way we see it, aircraft or trucks and things like that from a defense perspective is sort of, it's no different. Their access requirements are no different to a 793 haul truck or a D11 dozer. This machinery needs maintenance, and it needs safe maintenance. So it's a really easy capability transfer for that kind of thing. And same for oil and gas. We're working on some large scale access platforms for a gas plant up north at the moment. And again, it's the same thing that they had a requirement to access an area, and they wanted to do it safely. So they brought the team in. Our team went to site, scoped it up, and it's moved through into the engineering and sort of manufacturing phase now. So we have full confidence in the way we go about it, and full confidence to provide what our clients need, regardless of the industry.
Well, it sounds like it's exciting for the company in terms of just the sheer number of opportunities when you start to look beyond. But it must be exciting for you personally. I mean, you're in marketing and you're seeing all these opportunities, and you have to, I won't say sell, but you have to build those relationships. And I mean, you are one of the key guys that's doing that, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I'd like to think so. But yeah, I totally agree. That's why I love what I do, is because, again, it comes back to that rich experience. It's really, really fulfilling. There's always a new challenge. There's always opportunities for myself to get out of my comfort zone and learn. So, when you're entering a new market, the same message doesn't always resonate. So understanding, again, what the client needs in what industry and what location is really core to what myself and my team do in terms of creating some compelling content or information that then generates a bit of interest in what we do, and then it moves to that sort of funnel to the sales team and create some opportunities. I mean, that's what we do. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I love what I do. So,
have you ever had the manufacturing guys say, "Slow down, Rhys. Like, give us a chance to catch our breath here. You're selling too much"? Or
yeah, not quite. I mean, I'd love that for that to be the case. But look, we're look, the marketing and sales team has a great synergy here, and again, we have a great synergy with the manufacturing team. I think that's what has made Bentech so successful. We don't operate in silos. We're all one big team here. Those guys out there and those girls out there love what we do. They love making what we make, and again, for us to be able to go out there and sort of oftentimes explain what they're making and what it's for, that gives them that richness that I touched on earlier, and that fulfillment. I think a big part of coming to work and a big part of what's so important about our culture here is that creating a fulfilling job, and it's fulfilling for those guys to understand that they're working to build something that makes someone else's job easier, more efficient, and most importantly, safer. And they get a real kick out of that. And they're really receptive to being part of videos and photos, and they're super proud about what they do. So the more opportunities we can give for them to do that, the better.
So, for our any last thoughts that you want to leave with our audience before we wind up?
I think Bentech is constantly evolving. The industry is constantly evolving, and we want to be a provider of products and services that make it safe, make it efficient, and enable our customers to meet their targets, whether it's production, eliminating downtime, and obviously most importantly safety. We want to be involved in that, and I think the ROX brand is really exciting. I think even from an interest point of view, the content we're going to be trying to put out is going to be cool and fun, and it's going to grow organically based on what works and what doesn't. But yeah, no, I think I'm really pumped to have been a part of this. It's been really fun. But yeah, look, watch this space in terms of Bentech and ROX and beyond, because I think we're gonna do some great things. We already have done some great things, but we're going to do some great things moving forward, and we're just excited about it. The whole team is bought in on the mission, and we can't wait to sort of bring that to everyone.
Well, it does sound very exciting, and congratulations on all the success. And we've been speaking with Rhys Werndly, and we've been talking about Bentech and ROX, and look for the podcast Breaking ROX. Did I get that right?
That's the one, Breaking ROX.
Okay.
Tune in, like, subscribe.
Ring the bell, whatever you have to do, right?
Do what you need to do. Just please watch it. No, just joking. No, hopefully you enjoy it.
Thanks for chatting with me, Rhys, and I really enjoyed it. And thank you to our audience for tuning into another episode of Mining Now.